heart of your teams. The heart of Atlanta. Valley Sports South and Valley Sports Southeast. The heart of the fan.
Champion Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Truist. It's our first full official day of autumn, and it sure feels like fall. The wind is blowing straight in here at Citizens Bank Park, where the Braves try to even our four-game series at one apiece. The Braves begin play a game and a half behind the Mets. New York is in Oakland later on tonight, and Jake Odorizzi has the ball for the Braves here in Game 2. Good evening, everybody. Jeff Francoeur, Chip Carey, Paul Bird will be along in just a bit. Tough start to the series last night. The Braves were shut out, a 1-0 final score. And right now, Jeff, the Braves in a bit of an offensive funk. They've got three Ironmen in this lineup. Hopefully that big three can get things going the right way offensively tonight.
Yeah, Chip. And first off, you got to give these guys a lot of credit. They have posted every single day. And we're going to show you right here, they have played the most innings in baseball, top 1, 2, and 3. It's incredible when you think about it, all on one team. So in a way, look, you say, you're running them out there every day. The bad thing sometimes is, look, they get tired. You go through a long stretch. I think with that being said, though, you got to feel that all three of these guys eventually are going to get hot. And as I look ahead with only 12 games left, hopefully they get hot at the right time, and that can carry all the way through October.
Well, hopefully the Braves will be able to hit some balls under radar. A couple of balls to the wall and the warning track last night, but it was Philly 1, Atlanta nothing, the final in Game 1. Jeff, what is it?
Friday Night Showdown.
It's presented by our friends at Kaiser Permanente. Odorizzi and Nola will tip things off, and Paul Bird will join us after the break. Line drive into center field. Ronald around third. He's going to score. The Braves win it in the night.
Hard days we faced it. Long nights we waited. Back now, yeah, we made it. We're back now, yeah, we made it.
Swing and a drive. Belted left. Two-run lead. Back-to-back homers for Atlanta in the first. Duvall, who dives and makes the catch. The 30th double for Olsen before the All-Star break. Nobody has ever done that as a Brave. Kyle Wright, brilliant through 7 innings. Dansby dives, throws, stretch, and they got him. What a play. Milestone win for Brian Snitker, his 500th. There's a new career high, number 13. Swing and a miss. What a job by Max Fried. Right field, 2-0 Atlanta. Ronald coming on, dives, and he got it. Up against the nets. What a play by Swanson. There it is, number 200.
Hard days we faced it. Long nights we waited. Back now, yeah, we made it. We're back now, yeah, we made it.
That'll do it. Braves have swept the Phillies. 16 games down, 3 to go between the Braves and Phillies head-to-head. There you see the Major League Baseball playoff picture as we cut to the chase for postseason play. Atlanta still has a great chance to put a damper on the Phillies' playoff hopes. Right now, the Phillies are 2.5 games in front of the Brewers for the final wild card spot. The Braves are a game and a half behind the New York Mets, who play out in Oakland later on this evening. If the Braves pass the Mets, they'll get 5 days off. If they don't, they will open up the wild card round 2 weeks from today at Truist Park. So that sums it up.
There's still a lot to be determined, though. There are a lot of moving parts to that bracket, and hopefully those Braves go from a 4 to a 2.
And on this cool, windy night in Philadelphia, let's hope the offense can heat up. Offense has been a little tough to come by for the Braves over the last 3 games. They've scored 5 runs in the last 3 games. And again, no Ronald Acuna Jr. tonight. The back was stiff yesterday. He could not play. He can't answer the bell here in Game 2. So Dansby Swanson will lead off the Toyota starting 9 for the Braves. For the second time this year, Michael Harris will bat second. He's in front of Austin Riley. Travis d'Arnaud, the cleanup man. Matt Olson fifth. William Contreras is the designated hitter. And for the second time in as many starts, Jeff, Aaron Nola is facing the Braves in rotation.
You know, the Braves touched him for 4 earned runs on 7 hits. But give Nola a lot of credit. He ended up filling 7 innings for the Phillies with 8 strikeouts. But Braves were able to get some to him early. Today's going to be a little tougher. That wind is blowing almost dead in, and it is cold.
So with that in mind, for the Braves to even up the series tonight, what are your 4 keys here in Game 2?
You got a high strikeout guy. Put the ball in play. If the Braves with their offense put the ball in play, then I like their chances going. And 5 strong. Jake Odorizzi did a great job against the Phillies at the same time last week. The wind's blowing in. Give up some fly balls. It doesn't matter, but hopefully he can have a good start and get us a win tonight.
And as we said in our opening comments, this is the first full day of autumn. It is every bit of it tonight, as the wind blowing right across from left to right toward the Phillies dugout. Not a cloud in the sky all day in Philadelphia. We're expecting clear weather the rest of this series, but it is a chilly night again for Game 2.
Especially when we've been used to 90 degrees at home.
So Dansby Swanson digs in, leading off against Aaron Nola, and Game 2 is underway. A little cooler than last night here for Game 2. 63 degrees, and you know the feels like temperature is a lot lower than that. And Nola, no shirt sleeves. He's quickly ahead of Swanson. No balls and 2 strikes.
You see his arsenal, that 4-seam sinker, and then of course the knuckle curve and changeups just like last time. You see him mostly mix that in 5th, 6th, 7th inning.
And to your point about putting the ball in play, if you are thinking Aaron Nola is going to help you with a walk, that's probably not going to happen. 210 strikeouts, 26 walks in 186 innings. This man has impeccable control, but only a 9-12 record so far this year. The pitch, and his night off to a swing and a miss start. Dansby's retired for out number 1.
That was a good cutter he had there.
So we'll see what Michael can do batting second. He was 0 for 4 last night, and 2 career hits against Nola. Both of those hits are homers.
What a year he's had, and really second half.
His first September as a big league player has been terrific, hitting .333 this month with 5 homers and 14 driven in. That's over the outside corner. Michael is our Georgia Natural Gas Impact Player, as Jeff said. He has had every bit of that since the 1st of June.
Yeah, 15 runs this month, which is tied for 2nd most NL, and 24 hits, which is tied for 4th.
So you get your hottest hitters at the top of the lineup. Hope they get an extra at bat in a big league game. We'll see if that move pays off for Harris and the Braves tonight. Again, his 2nd game hitting 2nd in his rookie season. And he couldn't check his swing. Nola has back-to-back strikeouts.
Well, and you can see Dansby took 2 fastballs. Harris took 1. You know, there's a fine line between trying to work a pitch count sometimes and letting a guy like Nola get ahead too much. So look here for Austin Riley, maybe after watching that, see if he can get a fastball early in the count, see if he can drive something.
He had a good game last night. Riley was 3 for 3 for the Braves. And he does go after the first one, but pulled it out of play foul. Really, there ought not be any surprises between Aaron Nola and the Braves. He has 24 career decisions against Atlanta this year. He's 2-2.
Yeah, you know, talking to Kevin Seitzer before the game, that's what it's kind of like. you know what to do. You really don't need a hitter's meeting. You don't need to prepare. You know exactly what he's going to try to do to you. It's executing it.
And as we saw last night, the weather was a factor. How hard is that to put out of your mind facing a guy the caliber of Nola on a night like this?
The cold doesn't bother you. It's the wind that can kind of play tricks with you a little bit.
Well, Nola 200 or more strikeouts in 4 seasons. He's made his 30th start. He's done that in 4 big league years, and he's got Riley behind. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Well, you saw those numbers. Not many people have numbers like that off Aaron Nola. I think one thing to pay attention, if you're Jake Odorizzi sitting in that Braves dugout, Gabe Morales, home plate umpire, giving that outside corner a little bit right now. So if you're watching, maybe you can get them to expand a little bit.
And hopefully everybody will be happier with the strike zone tonight, more so than Andrew Fletcher in game 1.
You don't say.
Nobody was real happy with the strike zone in game 1. And Nola has his first 3-2 count, bases empty in the top of the first. And there's your first base runner. Riley takes a 2-out walk, so his good work continues in this series. And that'll bring up Travis d'Arnaud, the Braves catcher. So a rare walk. And d'Arnaud 0 for 4 in the series, looking for his 19th homer. Travis starts play at .269 on the year.
What great work. Seeing some more cutters early from Nola. I think like anything, when you face a team 5 days, 6 days ago, you're probably inclined to change things up a little bit more the second time you're facing them.
Riley is short lead at first, the 0-1. And now 0-2. I know Paul Bird is with us. We'll ask this of Birdie when Odorizzi's on the mound. They say for starters it's the toughest thing to do, face the same lineup in back-to-back games. I would expect, Jeff, the opposite's true for the hitters.
Yeah, but he's pitching a little different. You know, he was fastball happy a lot first 2-3 innings versus the Braves, and it cost him. Tonight you're seeing more off speed.
Off-speed pitch is whacked into left field. d'Arnaud on an 0-2 count keeps the inning alive. That's the first Braves hit. And Matt Olson is your hitter with 2 aboard and 2 outs.
Oh, that was location there. Nola went with the curveball, and this one backed up. Look at that. Talk about missing your spot, and Travis d'Arnaud does a beautiful job of just dropping the bat head on it.
Well, it's no secret Matt Olson could use some hits. This would be a great spot to get him going. 2 on, 2 out. Matt had a hit here last night. 28 homers, 91 driven in. He's had good hitting luck in this ballpark. 4 of those home runs have come at Citizens Bank. That still leads the club in bases on balls. They just want to keep adding the pressure to Aaron Nola here in the first inning. That was 70 walks. He is way ahead in the count, 2-0 with the shift on the pitch. Last few days, Jeff, we've seen Matt try to hit the ball the other way. He's trying to utilize that hole that the Phillies give him here.
And last time he was up here, if you remember, he split that left center gap twice for a couple doubles.
Missed center cut at 94. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Olsen with 4 RBIs this month. He's got 2 Braves aboard with 2 outs in the first. Struck out the side. The Braves strand a pair in the top of the first inning. Jake Odorizzi goes to work. No score. To the bottom of our first inning, Jake Odorizzi is on the mound for the Braves tonight, pitching for the 2nd straight time against the Phillies. As Jeff mentioned, 2 hits, 4 2/3 innings. In his last start against Philadelphia, their starting lineup has Kyle Schwarber, second to Aaron Judge in homers. He's only 20 behind him with 2 weeks to go here in the regular season. And as you said, Jeff, hopefully 5 strong innings are in the books for Jake Odorizzi tonight.
Yeah, he pitched 6 days ago and threw an outstanding game. Went 4 2/3, 5 strikeouts, and only gave up 1 run.
So Paul Bird, big start for Jake. Hopefully he has the magic working tonight in Philadelphia.
Absolutely, Chip. And a general rule as a starting pitcher is when you've done well against someone, you let them adjust to you. But you always look for those little signs that they may be doing something different that they didn't do in the earlier outing. In other words, if you're getting ahead and they were very, very patient, but you notice them swinging early, then you can go into 0-2 mode or change your game plan if you notice that. But if you've had success, you stick with that recipe.
So we'll see what works for Odorizzi tonight as Kyle Schwarber digs in. And in for a strike. Like every pitcher, what did Jake Odorizzi do when he got off the bus today at the ballpark? Check the flags.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Kind of like
dream.
Wrigley today.
Pitcher's dream, as stiffly as they're blowing tonight. And an even count for Schwarber. 1 ball, 1 strike. Career high 40 home runs for Kyle, 85 driven in. You can see how strongly the wind is blowing just by looking at the uniform tops of Odorizzi and Schwarber. Look at the double nits fluttering.
Yeah, I think you can get a home run to right field maybe if you hook it good, but left field hitting into it, man, you're going to have to. It's going to have to be a low little 2-iron.
Yeah. Marcell Ozuna crushed a ball last night. Any other night, that might have been in the second deck.
Yeah, exactly.
But it backed Schwarber up to the fence, and even he was laughing with the degree of difficulty on last night's wind-blown pop-up. And Jake way ahead here, a ball and 2 strikes. Like the Braves, the Phillies can point to June 1st as a turning point in their season. They've gone 61-38 since that time. They're not going to catch Atlanta in the divisional race, nor the Mets, but they are 2.5 games in front of Milwaukee in the wild card. And Schwarber is rung up at the plate. And that's out number 1.
I was going to say whether he swung or not is mute in that point. That was a good pitch. Look at that thing. Just below the top of the zone.
So a good start for Odorizzi. 1 up, 1 down, and Rhys Hoskins is your hitter. Knock on wood, the Braves have done good work against Hoskins this year, batting .192 against Atlanta pitching. We did not see Rhys down in Atlanta. He had been hit by a pitch, was suffering through a sore hand, but back and ready to go tonight with a 1-for-4 start to his series.
We said it when he wasn't in there. It really changed the dynamic of their lineup. A little bit like the Braves right now. Without Ronald in there, it just kind of flips things a little bit different than what you're used to.
Yeah, 28 homers and 72 RBIs is not easy to replace.
Like I said, this same kind of team where most of these guys are playing every single day, so you kind of get used to where you're at. It just disrupts that. Now there's an example. You saw Jake go low off the plate and got the call.
If it's consistent, nobody will complain. And he goes up and outside, and Hoskins fouls it back.
Well, this is a day. I know Nola struck out the side, Jake struck out the first guy, but you don't mind having action with the wind blowing like that. Hardest thing will be the outfielder judging where that wind's taking the ball. But as you said, to hit a home run is going to be very difficult tonight.
There's a good approach, a line drive into right field with 2 strikes for Hoskins. That's the first Phillies hit. It too comes with 2 strikes, and Bryce Harper is your hitter.
That's a nice piece of hitting.
Harper was 0 for 4 last night. He's been quiet over the last few days. 2 for his last 14 at the plate. Tonight Harper playing in his 9th game against the Braves. Remember, he missed several weeks with a broken thumb after he was hit by a pitch. That's where the Braves and Phillies, I think, are so remarkably alike. Atlanta's played over half the year without Ozzie Albies, who's so important to this team. Phillies had to play a lot of games without Bryce Harper, yet here they are, both fighting for playoff positioning and playoff spots here in the final 2 weeks.
You know, when someone goes down, it's all about someone else stepping up, and the guy coming up next, JT Realmuto, really did a beautiful job of, you know, taking the load kind of that Bryce Harper. You see those numbers right there, 21 home runs, 280.
Rizzi behind, 2 balls, no strikes. Good pitcher's pitch. Harper couldn't do much with that. And now it's 2-1 count. Harper 0 for 3 in his career against Odorizzi. He's pitching on extra rest. He has 5 days of rest. He's got a 1.42 career ERA. We hope that continues tonight. Braves need to win. Need to put that first score up. Put a little pressure on the Mets. Yes, they're playing Oakland, but
Oakland's scrappy right now. They just took 2 of 3 from the Mariners. Sometimes those are the dangerous teams we talk about. You got a lot of guys you don't know much about.
Hoskins a short lead, 2 balls and a strike. And Harper trying to hit one into the bleachers, and it's 2-2. Let's see what Odorizzi has in mind with that 5-pitch arsenal for Bryce Harper. Swing and a miss out of the strike zone. And Nola and Odorizzi, all the outs via strikeout here in the first inning so far.
As I said, punching some tickets right now. Just a cutter up in the zone. Kind of started to cut and just kept rising on him. Good pitch.
So JT Realmuto, the batter, the only man to touch the plate last night. With the weather as it is, the team that can manufacture runs the best is the one that probably wins tonight. That's what the Phillies did in game 1. A sacrifice fly off Max Fried, the only tally of the game. That was skied to the right side, and the wind will push that over the netting. Foul, strike 1. Anything hit to the right side, it's going to be tough for it to stay in play. Anything the other way, don't give up.
No, right. If you got a left-handed hitter and you foul one off to the left side, boy, you better be getting over there.
Driven to right, pretty well hit. Grossman back to the wall, leaping try, and he's got it up off the scoreboard. Great catch by Robbie Grossman.
He made that look pretty easy, didn't he? That was not an easy play. He got back beautifully. Look at this. See the job looking where the wall is? Knows where it's at. Makes a beautiful play.
Scoreless game. Great catch by Robbie Grossman to keep things knotted at nothing. Second inning coming up. William Contreras will be the batter. He is our Mr. Clean Magic stats man tonight here in game 2.
Yeah, he's hitting .302 this season versus Philly, Chip. In his last 20 road games, young William hitting .303 on the year.
Another guy that I don't think we talk enough about, helping the Braves do what they've done in this 93-win season. Yeah, Strider. Yes, Grissom. Yes, Harris. How about this guy stepping in with Manny Pena out with wrist surgery? Where would the Braves be without his offensive production? And Jeff, maybe importantly, what he's done behind the plate when Travis doesn't catch.
I will continuously say he was up here for what, three and a half months last year. He went back down and really went to work on not just offensively but defensively, and he's been a whole different player this year. And at a time where, like you said, the Braves needed it.
Would you say he's the most improved player on the team from year to year?
From last year, yes.
Really?
Yeah. Just the way, again, like you said too, not just that, but the way he's catching. He's still got work to do, but it has come a long way. You can tell guys feel a lot more comfortable throwing to him now.
And it may sound like a silly question. After all, this kid's an all-star.
Well, for sure.
But where he was and where he is.
Oh, absolutely.
Totally different player. Having a great year. Good for William, who's ahead in the count. 2 balls and a strike. Let's see if the Braves can do to Nola what the Phillies did to Max Fried last night. They really made Max work. He threw 107 pitches in 5 innings. 64 of them in the first 3 innings. And you want to get into this Phillies bullpen.
Problem, like you said, though, is you take the balance of being patient off Nola and working him. You know, it's tough sometimes. You get to 2 strikes, he can go 2 or 3 different ways to get you out.
Nola's got 3 strikeouts, 1 walk. He gave up a hit on an 0-2 count. And now Contreras steps out with a 3-2 pitch to come. Contreras, Rosario, and Vaughn Grissom are your hitters in the Braves' second. Driven to right. Retreating is Matt Vierling, and he's got that. And there's out number 1.
You know, even with the flags blown that way, you saw last inning JT Realmuto hit that ball. A lot of times that's a double off the wall or just a line drive into the stands. Instead, it dives. That one, same thing. That was hit pretty good off the bat. Didn't do much.
So first out on contact for Aaron Nola tonight. Eddie Rosario is the batter. Eddie didn't play last night with Ranger Suarez starting for the Phillies. Five homers, 20 ribbies for Rosario, and 2 career hits against Aaron Nola. Right into the shift. Oh, flag down by Hoskins. Great play. And the feed to Nola robs Rosario. Yeah, check your pulse, Reese. That was smoked. 2 outs.
Wow. What a play. Eddie absolutely smoked that ball. Good job by Nola getting over there and Hoskins to get up and make a good throw.
Almost threw it too hard and too low.
Yeah, threw a sinker at him.
And I think he's shocked he caught it. Unbelievable play. 2 good plays for the Braves and Phillies here in the first inning and a half. So Vaughn Grissom, the 8th place hitter, bats with nobody aboard and 2 outs. Vaughn was 0 for 3 here last night. Braves had to shuffle their lineup around moments before first pitch when Ronald couldn't go with a bad back. Still out tonight. Last night Grissom hit 6th. Tonight he's batting 8th against the right-hander Aaron Nola.
And I think that's the thing too, is look at the lineup last night compared to this. It's just so different. And the one thing we can always say about this Braves team is it's the consistency. You almost got the same guys in there night in and night out. Guys know the role. So that's why I say it's just tough when you take Ronald out of that leadoff spot. It just changes the flow of the lineup.
Driven to right field. Veerling is playing shallowly, and he makes the play. And that'll retire the side. Great play by Rhys Hoskins. Robs Eddie Rosario of the Braves' second hit.
Welcome to the Friday Night Showdown, presented by Kaiser Permanente.
Back in blustery Philadelphia for the home second. Jake Odorizzi and Aaron Nola locked in a scoreless duel to this point. Jake a couple of strikeouts in the first inning. Super catch by Robbie Grossman up against the chain link fence in front of the right field scoreboard. Helped keep the game at 0-0. Alec Bohm, Brandon Marsh, and Gene Segura, the trio up for the Fightins here in the second inning. This young man's very quietly, Jeff, had, I think, his best year. He's been tough for the Braves to get out, hitting .328 against Atlanta pitching.
I told you ever since, remember, he made those 3 errors in that 1 inning here. Got caught saying something about the city on camera.
He said, "I hate this place."
Yeah, exactly. And since then, players kind of came out, you know, said, look, he made a mistake.
And a bullet up the middle gets things started in the second inning.
He's been a whole different player, as you said.
7th best batting average in the major leagues since late June. And Bohm has the second Phillies hit. Oh, no doubter, right back where it came from. So Brandon Marsh, the former Angel and the kid from Metro Atlanta, he bats for the first time in this series.
Seems to be having a little more success here in Philadelphia than he did out on the West Coast.
Jake misses outside. 1 ball, no strikes. Marsh has been bothered by a left knee contusion. He got hurt when the Toronto Blue Jays were here in Philadelphia. And Dave Dombrowski, their general manager, hoping he'll be the long-term answer for what's been a problem spot, center field.
For a long time here.
On the ground. That's going to sneak through. Back-to-back hits. And Alec Bohm is on his way to third. First and third with nobody out.
Ball was not hit hard. It was just a rollover, but where they were playing defensively, Grissom was shaded more up the middle.
So the first chance for the Phillies to score tonight. Gene Segura is your batter. Segura went 1 for 3 last night. And he has seen Odorizzi the most in this Phillies lineup. Braves will trade a run for a double play ball here with nobody out. Oh, nice short hop pick by Matt Olson. Neither team had much luck with runners in scoring position last night. Both the Braves and Phillies were 0 for 6, but they got a sac fly, and that was the only run they needed. Too far outside, ball 2.
Now right here, you trade an out for a run. Whether that's a sac fly and you keep Marsh at first, or a double play ball even. What you don't want to do is allow a big inning early.
Didn't chase it. Now it's 3-0. Bryson Stott is waiting on deck. We'll see if Segura has the green light. The bases are loaded and nobody is out. Nine homers, 43 driven in for Stott, and this is a huge moment in this game already.
It really is. Like you said, this is one of those things that you feel good about the Braves offense. Going to be able to get something, come back, but you've got to find a way to limit damage now, Chip.
Segura, Marsh, and Bohm first, second, and third as the Phillies base runners. A strikeout would be nice here. And that's a good way to start. Strike 1. As tough as Aaron Nola is, do you think about coming home first, or do you concede a run?
Depending where it's at. You know, if it's to Austin Riley where he's at, yeah, I think you come home. Up the middle here, you're trying to get a double play ball.
Jake's got him set up.
So you think about a strikeout now.
Yep. Not part of the Phillies youth movement. He's done a nice job playing shortstop for him.
Well, Didi was here. They were just not getting a lot of production anymore, and so they made a decision to bring a young kid up, give him an opportunity. He's done a nice job.
And Jake put him away with nobody out. And knuckled out of play. Stott is still alive. Braves using PitchCom with the bases full of Phillies. 0-2. Driven to right field. Grossman back to the edge of the warning track. That's going to be deep enough to score one. Marsh is going to tag. He's going to move up on a sacrifice fly to make it 1-0. So you trade the out for the run. You keep the double play in order, and Matt Vierling, the 9th place hitter, is coming up.
Well, and I hope if you're Jake out there and you see that, Chip, that ball died. I mean, immediately as it was hit. And so right now, throw strikes. Use the weather, use the defense to your advantage in these situations.
Vierling drove in the game's only run last night with his 28th RBI. That was on a sacrifice fly. It was also in the 2nd inning.
They scored early and then just kind of turned into a bunch of pitching.
Vierling has bounced into 7 double plays this year. See if Odorizzi can get another. He missed outside. 1 ball, no strikes.
And if you're Jake, you really want to attack this hitter here with Schwarber on deck.
'15th pitch of the inning. Vierling, the 5th batter.
And this sometimes is where hitters, can help your pitcher out too by talking to him, letting him know, look, it's uncomfortable for hitters. Like I said, when the wind's blowing this hard, it's cold. Both these teams have been playing in warm weather. They're not used to this yet. Be on the attack.
But I'm sure in the deep recesses of a pitcher's mind, they still don't believe it, because you lay one center cut and you got problems.
You're right, but think about both balls that Grossman has caught in right field. Same thing. They've been hit really well, but they didn't go anywhere.
First and third, 1 in, 1 out. 1-1 pitch. Sprays the chalk down the third base line. He was out in front, and Matt Vierling behind 1 and 2.
They're not chasing that pitch right now,
which is what they did last night.
Yeah.
In the top 3 hitters for the Phillies last night saw 67 pitches.
Wow.
Free threw 107. Odorizzi's ready for his 35th. And a dangerous hitter with 40 home runs, Kyle Schwarber, waits on deck. Marsh the lead runner at third, Segura at first. Segura's running. The pitch is skied into shallow right. That's going to drop. Late break Marsh. There'll be no play. A bloop single extends the Phillies lead. If the Braves had been able to catch up to that, they'd have doubled up Segura.
Oh, in 2 seconds. Guerrero's gone, and he just, seeing that it probably would bloop in, just kept going. Grossman just not able to get there. But again, it's one of those situations you had him 1-2 and you threw 2 pitches a good bit off the plate when really you wanted action on one of those 2. Now Jake's got his work cut out for him.
So the Phillies have manufactured 2 runs on a windy night. And now Kyle Schwarber will dig in. He struck out to start the game in the bottom of the first inning. The Braves shift for Kyle. Whacks the first one back and out of play. As I mentioned earlier, Kyle Schwarber has 40 home runs this year. That is 20 behind Aaron Judge. He's going for number 61 tonight. That game between the Red Sox and Yankees is in the 3rd inning. 1-0 Red Sox. Here it's 2-0 Philadelphia. Tomahawked, and that's going to reach the seats. And Schwarber, a 1-2 count. This guy and Nick Castellanos were the 2 big offensive pickups for the Phillies this year. Schwarber's had a fine campaign. Not so much so for Castellanos.
Yeah, to feel like coming here for Schwarber at this park was a beautiful sign. Hitter's Park, you can hit it out anywhere, left field, center, right.
And a nice pitch from Odorizzi got Schwarber to swing and miss. Braves have really had this guy's number. Kyle Schwarber now 6 for 55 at the plate against Atlanta pitching this year. That's a huge second out.
Well, it's funny, if you look up and down the lineup right now, Jake to the left-handed batters, Chip, different pitcher than he is to the righties. He's attacking them, and this is Schwarber, Harper. He's going after him. With the righties, you can tell he's trying to be cute and hit that outside part of the plate, and he's just missing.
Well, 1st and 3rd in a 2-0 game, 2 outs. Rhys Hoskins, a base hit his first time up. That went higher than high. 1 ball, no strikes. Nice save by Travis. He was playing in Philadelphia. It's been a tough place for Atlanta in recent times. And for the Phillies, they've won 7 of their last 9 at home. This is their final home series of the year, by the way. They finished the campaign on the road.
9.
At the Cubs, at Washington, and then the final 3 games against the Houston Astros.
Which I said usually would think, okay, that's pretty good because Houston's not going to play their guys. Well, with Houston getting that bye, they're not playing till the following Tuesday from that Wednesday. So that Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, those position players are getting 4 at-bats a game. They can't afford to rest them too much. So, but like anything, the Phillies still in control over the Brewers.
That one is ripped foul. Brewers are in Cincinnati tonight. And they're in a 2-2 tie with the Reds.
The one thing I like about the extra playoff team, extra wild card now, is I just think it's made it more interesting here late in the season. You got almost half the clubs in races where in years past you just didn't have that kind of action. I kind of like it. I like 6. I don't like 7 in each one. That's too many teams for me.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Runner at first goes, and the pitch is hammered into the left field corner. That's going to score one for sure. Failing around second, on his way to third. They're going to green light him. The throw is going to come into second, and the Phillies have a 4-run inning. Hoskins 2 for 2. Now 74 RBIs.
Now just gets something up and turns on it again. Another righty off Jake.
So 4 hits, 4 runs for the Phillies in inning number 2. While Rick Kranitz and company talk it over, we step aside for a quick word from Truist.
Tim always offered the best advice.
Hit it nice and firm.
Today, Tim is a teammate at Truist, where you can get personalized insights right on the app.
So Rob Thompson and the Phillies gunning for their 83rd win. They've got a 4-run advantage, and Aaron Nola on the mound. Meeting over, Bryce Harper will dig in. Bryce Harper with the Philly Fanatic colored shoes. As Rhys Hoskins at second. And 2 outs.
I'm sure Cranny went out there to talk to him too, because you want him to get out of this inning. You need him to give you some length too. The last thing you want to do is go to that pen in this, bottom of the second, bottom of the third.
Braves won't have an off day until we wrap up this road trip. 2 more in Philly, then down to Washington for 3. And then the Mets come to town for the final 3 home games at Truist Park. 3 balls, no strikes.
I would imagine they're going to go ahead and put them on.
Yep. So Harper flips the bat away, and 9 men will come to the plate in the second inning. JT Realmuto is that batter, and he's the man that chased Grossman to the right field fence in the opening inning. Realmuto closing in on rarefied air. He's a 20 homer man. He's 18 for 18 in stolen bases. Think about that. A catcher who squats for almost every inning of every game, is perfect in steals, is on the brink of a 2020 year.
I don't see that too often, do you?
Odorizzi needs an out. 4-0 Phillies. And he should get it. Popped up left side. Dansby drifts out. The ball will curl towards center. And Swanson stays with it. And that retires the side. 9 men come to the plate. The Phillies record 4 hits and 4 runs. We go to the 3rd in game 2. Robbie Grossman, Jeff, has already made his presence felt as he swings the bat for the first time. This is our Zaxby's indescribably good play.
Well, with 2 runners on that inning, or 1 runner takes him all the way to the wall to right field. What a job, though, to get back the way he did. You don't play deep here. You usually play shallow. made a beautiful catch in right field.
You like playing up against those chain link fences?
I don't mind it. This one's not bad.
No.
It's pretty soft out there. But you know what you're going to get, which is one thing I like. If it hits that chain link fence, it drops straight down. It doesn't, shoot back. So you have a good idea.
So Robbie will lead off the Atlanta third. We've got a 4-run hole to climb out of here in game 2. Plenty of baseball left. Let's see if Grossman can get something started. Robbie was 0 for 4 last night. 7 homers, 44 driven in between his stints with the Tigers and here with the Braves. He's been on a nice run here over the last 3 weeks. Let's get a couple of these runs back here with the 9, 1, and 2 hitters due up.
Now this is where, look, you'd love to get 4 back in 1 inning, Chip, but you got to start just chipping away a little bit.
Robbie's 2 for 9 this year against the Phillies pitching staff.
Now you wonder if Nola, a little bit that long inning of him sitting in there a little chilly like this could affect him possibly.
Again, no long sleeves for Aaron Nola on this chilly 63-degree night. And he missed high for ball 3. Braves had 2 on 2 out in the first inning, couldn't break through. Nola retired his 1-2-3 in the second. Grossman played to pull, as you see, and the 3-1 count. He took a shot at left, not a bad idea. And a battle for a souvenir off to our left. It's still a 3-2 count. Just past 8 o'clock. Glad you're with us on Bally Sports all across the Southeast tonight. Paul Bird, Jeff Francoeur, Chip Carey with you from Citizens Bank. Our final regular season series against the Phillies. And there's a start. Grossman takes ball 4. That's rare. Aaron Nola, Jeff, with 2 walks in his first 3 innings.
You know what's interesting, if you remember last week, he had a scenario where he had 2 walks, I think, in about 4 or 5 batter thing. And again, I wonder, just location wise, him sitting in there for a good 30-35 minutes last half inning. What you'd love here is if you can get a base knock here and get some runners in motion and put some pressure on them.
Of the last 24 hits by the Braves, 21 of them have been singles.
Yeah.
See if Dansby can help change that as that pops away from Real Muto. No advance of the runner. And no balls and a strike. I think one of the challenges the Braves will have on a night like this, we saw it last night, and I mentioned it in the early moments. How do you manufacture offense, Paul Bird? We know that this Braves team is built like an old-fashioned AL club. They slug, they hit home runs, and when they do, they are a fearsome force.
Talking to Brian Snitker before the game, he said, yeah, I wish everybody hit 330. I wish guys ran and everybody was fast as everybody else in the NL East. Said we're not. We're built to hit home runs, and when we don't hit home runs, we're going to have trouble scoring, and it's going to be noticed. But look out when we turn it around.
Dansby pops one up behind first. Segura on the run. The wind pushing that toward the first base line. And Swanson is retired for out number 1.
And that's tough when it's a night like tonight with the weather. Talk about wind blowing in, and that's why one of my keys was put the ball in play. See if you can force the issue that way, because it is going to be tough to leave the park tonight.
Yeah, and the numbers bear out what Paul was talking about. When the Braves hit a home run, they're 51 games over 500. When they don't, they're 9-24.
Yeah.
It's one of the reasons this guy at the plate has been so impressive. Not only does he have power, but hits for a high average, has speed, and can beat you many different ways. But that's unusual. Everybody on the team isn't going to grade out that high in every single tool.
And you're right, Paul. He's a .333 hitter this month. So Michael's been arguably the hottest hitter on the club in September.
Yeah, I'll be interested as his career goes on to see where he settles in the batting order. I would think this could be a good spot for him here in the 2-hole.
No balls and a strike. Well, look, you hit in front of a potential MVP candidate, Austin Riley. That's always good. And whether it's Dansby or Acuna leading off, you're going to see a lot of fastballs.
Just because he can handle the bat. It's kind of like, you know, Dansby's a perfect example of that. Second hole in the lineup. He's able to hit the ball the other way.
Frenchie, I got a question for you. I love that you're talking about the weather. As a pitcher, absolutely, I factor that in when the wind's blowing in. You mentioned just putting the ball in play as a hitter. How do you do that if you're a home run hitter? Do you change your swing? Do you pick out certain pitches in the zone and go after those?
No, that's a great question, Paul, because, I mean, it is tough. You know, especially against a guy like Nola tonight, because he can come at you so many different ways. But, you know, I think it's, you know, just shifting your sights a little bit. Think more up the middle the other way.
But it's not to be. Harris strikes out for the second time. And after the leadoff walk, quickly 2 are down.
You know, it's not like you want to tell yourself, man, I got to keep this ball low, because you're not going to really be able to do that. You know, if you square one up and like Ozuna last night, that's all you can do. But I think you got to find a way to manufacture runs besides that.
And against a team like Philadelphia with JT behind the plate, this is a very tough team to run against.
Yeah, shuts down your running game too.
So you have to put it in play or hope that Nola makes a few mistakes. But at this point, he hasn't made many and leads 4-zip. And off the plate for Riley, who walked in the first inning. Nola has walked 2 men tonight. Only the 7th time this year he has had more than 1 base on balls in his start for the Phillies. Cued to the right side. Long run Segura. He'll glove. He'll bobble. He'll spin. He'll throw late. Riley put it in play and extends the inning. He's got an infield hit, and Travis d'Arnaud coming up.
No, it's a perfect example of the ball right off the end. They're going to give him a hit. Segura had to go a long way for that. Look at the exit velocity, 54.1. It's a grown man swinging that bat.
You're driving home faster than that ball was hit. But that's what you got to do, right?
Yeah, if he could have got that clean right there, he might have been bang bang. But it's a long ways for him to have to run over there. And Austin, good speed. But this example, now you get another single, you get a run. That's kind of what you want. You give yourself a few of these opportunities, this offense will break through.
d'Arnaud singled on an 0-2 pitch, got a hanging breaking ball, and fired that into left field in front of Kyle Schwarber. So the Braves with 2 walks, 2 singles tonight. Travis was 17 RBIs in his last 27 games. Trying to put the Braves on the board here.
And that's kind of his sequence when he gets going. Gets that fastball sinker in on you, and then comes right back with that cutter off the same arm angle. It's tough to lay off. Last time with 2 strikes, he spun him a breaking ball, and it backed up. I would imagine here you might see him either go sinker in or that cutter away.
Swing and a miss. 5 strikeouts for Aaron Nola. The Braves strand a pair in the 3rd and trail 4-0. Atlanta Braves baseball from Citizens Bank Park in Philadelphia is presented by Truist. The Phillies sent 9 to the plate in their last turn at bat. They scored 4 times and lead 4-0 here in Game 2. Jake Odorizzi back to work. Bohm, Marsh, and Segura, the trio coming up for Philadelphia. Now it's simple in theory. Hold them right there and hope your bats come to life.
You have to. With Nola on the mound, this cold weather like that, you've got to find a way right here to put up some zeros and give this offense more chances.
Bohm got things started with a leadoff single in the 2nd inning. He now riding a 6-game hit streak. He's had a big offensive year against the Braves. A .328 average against Atlanta coming in. One ball, no strikes. Popped up. Darno gives chase, but that'll reach the seats.
Well, I like that. That's one of the first few times we've seen the righties, Jake, come in. And if he wants to open that cutter up away, Chip, he's got to be able to come in like that and get these hitters thinking the inner half too. If all you do is go away as a right-handed hitter, I'm going to dive out over the plate. I'm seeing everything out over there. Now all of a sudden I got to think in.
And the way the wind's blowing, I think you're doing him a favor, right?
Probably, yeah.
As it's howling toward the right field corner now. It's a good pitch. Bohm tried to hit that one a mile and came up empty. Great hitter's background here in Philadelphia, but can't be easy with this stiff breeze. All the evergreen trees are actually swaying.
They are, and I mean it's continuously too.
Nobody on or out. And Bohm serves one the other way. Not hard hit. But the Phillies are following your Ford Keys. They're putting it in play tonight. For Philadelphia, that's their 6th hit.
We saw Hoskins shoot one the other way back in the 1st. That one. And you can tell they've completely changed their whole approach off Jake compared to last time. If you remember last time, big swings, and Jake really took advantage of that in Atlanta in his 4 2/3. Tonight they're cutting that down.
Brandon Marsh singled and scored last inning.
I would love to see Odorizzi throw something on the inside part of the plate, even for a ball. Stand somebody up or just let him know that you're going to come in there. I see a lot of comfortable Phillies reaching out, diving, making his off-speed pitches ineffective.
Let me ask you something, though, Paul. I noticed it versus right-handers, but these lefties, he has come in. He's came in to Schwarber. He's come into Harper. You know, why is that lefty compared to righty?
Yeah, I agree. Righty coming in is difficult. He has a cutter, so he can come in on the left side because you started out middle. To start the cutter or a sinker, you would start the middle of the plate. But to throw that cutter on the inside part of the plate to a righty, you would have to start it right at them. And I just haven't seen him control that side of the plate to righties tonight.
What about running a good old-fashioned four-seamer up and in?
Yeah, I like that. I mean, at some point, you know, if guys are super comfortable and they say, well, he's going to come in, but he's only going to come in for show.
Yeah.
He can't throw strikes in there, so just let him throw his pitch inside and then go back to being locked in on the outside part of the plate. I think that's when you get in trouble.
Let's see what he does. 1-2 here with Brandon Marsh. And a swing and a miss. Odorizzi has his first out of the third inning and his fourth strikeout in the game. Double play in order. Gene Segura, the hitter.
And there you go, Bertie, what you're talking about with the left-handed hitters. Went away, came in the one time to Marsh with that off-speed pitch. All 4 strikeouts tonight, left-handed hitters.
Schwarber twice, Harper once, Marsh once.
Yep.
Now it's a righty. Segura, a 4-pitch walk, and scored the third Phillies run. Phillies have hit into a lot of double plays this year, 109 of them, in fact. Segura is one off their team lead with 15.
If you think about it, this Phillies team doesn't have great speed on the base pass.
So a ground ball might get you 2 and get you out of the inning and send us to the 4th. We have seen the last couple of games with the Phillies, if I don't want to say it's a whole, but a spot that they've been able to exploit against Segura, that pitch right above the script on his uniform, collarbone high.
Yeah, he wants that ball down.
Little pop, and Odorizzi on the third base side of the mound is there to make the play unassisted. Segura pops out to the pitcher. Boy, hitters hate that, don't they? 2 outs.
But there's a perfect example. In and up on that pitch for the most part, and you got easy contact. Especially if there's any day to come into righties, it's today with the wind.
Dare them to hit the ball out of the park.
If you can hit it, then go for it.
So after the hit, 2 quick outs and Stott, the batter, he provided a sacrifice fly. And the first Phillies run, Stott with 44 runs batted in now. I say this because I know the Mets are watching the game out in Oakland tonight. Stott's stance reminds me so much of Chipper Jones from the left side. Tall, angular stance, the bat waggle.
I almost wonder if he, might have grown up doing that, emulating him.
Not a bad choice.
No, for sure.
And the Mets play the A's later on tonight. The Braves start play a game and a half behind New York. 1 game back in the loss column. 1-1 pitch is sliced out of play on his hands. It's 1-2. Matt Vierling is next. He has an RBI hit. Matt Vierling's had the game-winning RBI for the Phillies in their last 2 games. Let's worry about him in the 4th, shall we? 2 balls, 2 strikes. And that's exactly what will happen. Odorizzi, after a leadoff single, strikes out 2 of the next 3 Phillies hitters. Matt Olson leads off the Atlanta 4th.
Well, we got an ACC football doubleheader for you tomorrow at noon Eastern. You got South Florida at Louisville, and at 7:30 Eastern, you got the Yukon Huskies at NC State. Bally Sports and the Bally Sports app, you can watch it, and go to ACC football on Bally Sports South, and it's presented by your local Ford dealer.
A couple of good games, it sounds like, this weekend.
Yeah, a lot of them.
And hopefully the Braves will make a good game of this one. They're down 4 after 3 against Phillies ace Aaron Nola. Matt Olson leads off. Matt struck out to end the Braves first. One ball, 1 strike. Look, for the Braves to get where they want to go, and we know they're capable of it, Dansby, Austin, and Matt got to heat up.
Yeah, for sure. And that's your heart of your order. The only good thing I consistently will say, you know, at some point they're going to bust out.
Right.
And so is it lining up to be a perfect time? You know, coming up here in the next few days, hopefully.
Looks like Matt's hand positions changed just a bit as he bats here for the 2nd time. We've seen him all year, Jeff, with his hands down and almost parallel to his chest.
He's kind of got him up, and he's got some movement going right now. I mean, look, you tinker and you're trying to do anything you can.
What does that do?
Which I think more than anything is everything. He's under the ball right now, so I would think he's trying to tell himself, stay on top of it, maybe feel like you're hitting down on it.
But it's not to be, as Nola strikes him out for the 2nd time.
Hardest thing, though, Chip, is when you're working that kind of stuff out and facing guys like Aaron Nola, and you know, this time of year, it's not easy.
Yeah, I was going to say it might be one thing to be facing Kevin Seitzer or Bobby Magianis, the Braves hitting coaches, in the cage.
I can't tell you how many times I did something in the cage different, and it felt really good. You go out BP and it felt good, and your first bat you strike out, and you're like, this sucks.
Boy, you really stick with a plan a long time.
Go back to what I was doing, even though it wasn't working.
But look, I think the underlying point is nobody knows more than Matt.
No, for sure.
That he's struggling, and he's trying everything he can to break out of it as quickly as he can.
100%.
Well, the early returns tonight aren't as encouraging as we'd like. He'll get a couple of more at-bats, and Braves can keep it 4. Maybe he'll come up in a big spot.
You never know when it's going to click. That one at bat sometimes can. I remember him talking about. Remember when he did all that early hitting that one day, and he was 0 for 2, and then his 3rd at bat he hit that home run off the right field foul pole, and it was like he took off after that. Sometimes it's that one blooper, one little thing. I mean, look at Austin Riley though. Now, you know, he talked about 3 good hits last night. He's got what, a walk and a knock tonight so far. So. You see him coming out of it. Hopefully Dansby and Matt are right behind him.
Those of us who never played, I'm sure, have used the cliche, well, don't think about it, just go react. How can you not think about it? You see numbers.
It's all you think about.
Right.
And that's what stinks too, is it's tough to shut it off. You know, you go back to the hotel tonight and you beat yourself up about it, thinking, what can I do before I come to the field? And it's tough to get away from it.
Contreras, a 3-ball, 1-strike count. And Aaron Nola has issued his 3rd walk, so he's trying to help the Braves stay in this game. 3 bases on balls in the first 3 and the 3rd innings for Aaron Nola. That is news. This guy seldom walks anybody. This is the first time Aaron Nola has walked 3 men in a game since his second start of the season against the Mets. So make him pay. Eddie Rosario, the batter. He's the man that hit the missile that Rhys Hoskins made a great play on back in inning number 2.
That's tough. You get Rosario gets a first pitch changeup painted away, and then out two-seamer just barreling down on the bottom part of the zone. And another thing, that's just you find yourself 0-2 now, and now you're in battle mode.
It's like Real Muto wants a high fastball here. And Nola delivers. That's exactly what he got. Popped up, shallow center. Marsh coming in. Stott going out. The shortstop is there. And back to first goes Contreras. Eddie's retired. 2 out in the Atlanta fourth. And Vaughn Grissom, your hitter. Grissom lined out to right. Look at where Vierling is standing. You can see the worn out areas of grass in right field. He was playing very shallowly when Vaughn came up his first time.
I would. I mean, I think if you're in the outfield, especially right field tonight, you know, same thing in left field. See if these guys can hit it over my head, but I'm not going to give up any bloops.
Aaron Nola with 6 strikeouts, 216 of them in total this year. 30 starts, 200 strikeout guys. Boy, are those valuable.
Yeah.
As I said, hard to believe this man has a sub 500 individual record. And for those who feel that pitchers' wins are somewhat deceptive, well, Nola certainly strengthens that case.
He's definitely a guy that you can point to that.
Two strikes for the Braves second baseman. The pitch.
One thing the Braves have done, though, I'd give them this. They've worked Nola tonight with those 3 walks, like you said. 69th pitch coming up here. Still in the 4th inning. As you said, the Phil's pen not exactly the strength of this team.
Grissom sees another. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Robbie Grossman is on deck. Grissom batting 8th. Contreras at first with a 1-out walk. Now there are 2 outs in the inning. Make him work. Vaughn, nice work. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Good work to come back from 0-2.
Yeah.
And now you get a head start for Contreras from first base. Rhys Hoskins will back up, play behind him at first base. Fourth full count for Aaron Nola in the game. Then he's walked a season-high tying 3 batters. There goes William, and the pitch is cut on and missed. Nola has struck out 7 Braves in 4 innings of shutout ball. It's 4-0 Phillies.
Braves Baseball is brought to you by your local Ford dealer, Delta Airlines, keep climbing, and by Truist. When you start with care, you get a different kind of bank.
City of Brotherly Love hasn't been quite as friendly as we'd hoped these first 2 nights at Citizens Bank Park. Phillies won 1-0 last night. They're leading Jake Odorizzi and the Braves 4-0 after 3.5 here in game 2. Jake has scattered a handful of hits. All 4 runs came in the second inning. He has struck out 5 batters. And he'll face the 9, 1, and 2 hitters here in the home fourth. And these are important games for both these clubs. The Braves trying to catch the Mets. The Phillies trying to stay ahead of San Diego, or trying to catch San Diego, I beg your pardon, in the National League wild card race. The Phillies start play just a half game behind San Diego for the 2nd wild card spot.
Yep. Big 2 weeks here finishing. And one thing that's kind of hurt Jake tonight, 6 for 18 on first pitch strikes. So has pitched kind of behind. But I think we saw last inning did a better job. You know, Birdie mentioned it, of trying to get the ball in on these right-handers. Just make them uncomfortable.
Down and away for Matt Vierling. Another 3-ball count from Odorizzi. He's at 69 pitches with nobody out here in the 4th inning. In the air toward left center, and it's going to curl toward Michael Harris. That's your point. Make the right-hand hitters try to hit it as far as they can, and more likely than not, it won't go very far tonight.
I know it sounds bad. Part of throw some 4-seamers down the middle and say hit it. I mean, that ball wasn't squared up by any means, but you saw it just died. I mean, Michael actually ended up coming in to get that ball. I mean, that is a stiff wind out there.
So much so you can see Harris wearing protective eyewear, clear lenses.
Yeah.
Trying to cut down on the wind he's dealing with defensively in center. Here's Schwarber. Kyle has punched out twice. Pretty good pitch. A little high, I suppose, for the man who's picked up the 7th 40 home run season in Phillies franchise history. Nice way to debut in your first year here at Citizens Bank. 1-2 count. Missed inside, 3-2. And right across the shoe tops, he loses Schwarber. And a one-out walk is the third free pass issued by Odorizzi tonight. Jake hasn't been able to solve Rhys Hoskins. A first-inning single and a two-run double in the second. He's up for the third time here in the fourth.
He used both sides of the field tonight. Single to right in that first inning, and then left right down the line, kind of in left field for the two RBI two-out double.
There's a first pitch strike. 0-1. Again, the Mets play out in Oakland. They start in about an hour or so. That's Chris Bassett and Cole Irvin. Bassett, a former A, Irvin, a former Philly. Swing and a high towering fly ball to left. Rosario back. That one is going to have plenty of distance. That ball sounded loud, and wind or not, it went a long way, and it's 6-0.
That ball would have been in the second deck had the wind not got it. You can see Hoskins actually looking at it, probably worried a little bit with the wind. It only went about 5-6 rows.
So all Hoskins need for the cycle is the triple tonight. He has singled, doubled, homered, and driven in 4. And you said it earlier, Jeff, like the Braves without Acuna, that's a huge difference. The Phillies with Hoskins, that's a huge difference.
Yeah.
And now Bryce Harper, the hitter. Nobody has moved a muscle in the Braves bullpen. It's a 6-0 game with 5 more games left before the next off day for Atlanta. Jake is going to act as his own relief pitcher here, it would look like.
Yeah.
So Atlanta's very impressive pitching run of 7 straight games allowing 3 or fewer runs has come to an abrupt halt tonight. Phillies lead 6-0. And Harper didn't get it. He strikes out for the second time.
It's unbelievable. 6 out of the 7 hits tonight for the Phillies right-handed hitters. The only lefty with the hit was Marsh, and that was kind of a rollover between the hole. He's making it look easy against the lefties. He's just.
So does that tell you what's working and what's not for Jake tonight, or is it just one of those crazy, quirky baseball things?
Well, I think for lefties, you know, he's working the ball up. He's being able to control the outside part of the zone. The second strike to Harper was away, and I think Birdie said, but he just to the righties right now. He cannot get the ball in.
Tried to Realmuto, and that's guided into right field for a first pitch single. First hit for JT tonight. The Phillies have 8 of them, and the inning continues with 2 outs. Alec Bohm's 2 for 2. So, Bertie, as I mentioned, we've got 2 more with the Phillies, 3 more with the Nationals. Our next off day will come back in Atlanta before the Mets series. You're in Jake's spot here, knowing where the Braves are as a team. What's your mindset down 6-0?
Yeah, this is where you can earn a lot of credit with your guys in the pen by giving your team hopefully 6. Talking to Brian Stinker before the game, he said, this is late September. Everybody's dealing with something at this point during the year. So this is a way you can give those guys a little breather, swallow your ego. Don't worry about the ERA. Play a game where it's 0-0. That's what you tell yourself in the head. Give everybody a chance to get healthy and, again, chance to win a little bit with your teammates.
Alec Bohm facing a 1-1 count. Rhys Hoskins' 2-run homer here in the 4th inning extends the Phillies' lead to 6. Driven right center. Harris on the run, streaking to the warning track. Wall and reaches up and drops the ball. The ball is down. Realmuto is around third. He will score. Alec Bohm will stand at third.
Did the wall knock the ball out, or did he never have it fully?
In the glove and out. So it scored a triple for Bohm. He's 3 for 3. And nothing has gone right for the Braves tonight.
Kind of a generous triple, isn't it? Just we don't ever wish
well,
an error on anybody, but
I'm guessing the long run, the wind and the wall would not have been an easy catch by any stretch, but Michael had it hit him squarely in the leather and he just couldn't put the squeeze on it.
Probably Michael makes every play that we think he should make it anyways. It's tough as an outfielder night too with that wind. You can see that ball was smoked right there, and it just kind of slowly died and the wind was pushing it to that gap.
So 4 in the 2nd, 3 in the 4th for the Phillies. Marsh now an even count. And a ball and a strike. Rick Craddock standing by the dugout bullpen phone. See some guys taking off the warm-up tops now. As Odorizzi moving toward 90 pitches. He ought to be out of the inning. But it continues for Marsh, who serves that one into center. Harris on the run. He can't get it. That ricochets off his glove. Another run will score. Marsh has 2 hits. Bohm scores, and the Phillies have their second 4-run inning.
See Michael trying to make up on this play. Good job. Keep it in front and just went to right to Grissom, but tough play coming in.
So the first man up is Tyler Matzik in the Braves bullpen. The Phillies will send their 8th man to the plate. They batted around in the 2nd. Segura's walked, scored, and popped to the pitcher. 8 runs on 10 Philadelphia hits. That one guided foul. The second and the fourth, the heaviest workloads. That's when the Phillies have done their scoring. Hammered down the line. Into the crowd foul. Jake has Gene Segura set up. Can he finish him off? Like the Phillies did to Max Fried last night, they have really forced the Braves starter to work here in game 2. Well, Rizzi up to 93 pitches. He's not yet out of the fourth. Max Fried threw 107 pitches in 5 innings last night. Late swing and still alive. Lifted right side. That is in foul ground. There's plenty of that for Matt Olson. And that will retire the side. 8 come to the plate. 4 more score, and the Phillies have a big lead.
Welcome to the Friday Night Showdown, presented by Kaiser Permanente.
Time for the 5th inning in game 2 here in Philadelphia. September is Childhood Cancer Awareness Month, and the Braves are honoring the month by donating all proceeds from their charity auction to benefit childhood cancer awareness. Auction items include signed jerseys, bats, and more from your favorite players. Visit Braves.com/charity auction to see the items available and begin your bidding today. Love the mystery ball option too. Our friends at Children's Healthcare of Atlanta.
Yes, thank you for your good job. We raised $200,000.
Really?
Yep. So outstanding. Thank you to you. And
well, thanks to Braves Country, as that one's whacked into right field and down for a leadoff hit. Robbie Grossman aboard for the second time. We said it before. Tom Glavine, our pal, has been involved with the Childhood Cancer Awareness Month and the great work at CHOA in Atlanta with his lovely wife Chris for so many years. They've been tireless workers for that. And while I haven't spoken to Tom directly about it, I know he appreciates the great support Braves Country is giving for that most worthy of endeavors. So we hope you'll head to Braves.com, check out the great auction items available, and donate to a very good cause.
yeah.
Dansby the batter, 0 for 2. 8-0 Phillies have the lead. We are in the 5th. Wind blowing straight in now. Dansby on the ground. Bohm retreats, second base for 1, and a bullet to first in time. What a turn by Segura. They talk all the time, internal clock, know who's running, veteran play. He knew he had to load up, and he threw a seed for the double play.
Reminds me of Arcia at second base when he was there. He's just got an arm that not a lot of second basemen have. Dansby, a quick runner here. That was a 2-hopper, and watch this right here. I mean, not many people can finish that double play unless you have a throw like that.
So here's Michael. He is 0 for 2. Onola has struck him out twice. Game 3 is tomorrow afternoon. Kyle Wright will go for his 20th win for the Braves. We'll get a look at Bailey Falter, a man we saw down in Atlanta, the young left-hander. First pitch is 4:05 Eastern Time. Then we wrap up our season series with the Phillies here on Sunday. Charlie Morton and Kyle Gibson will be the opposing pitchers. And a real thrill for all of us. We will head down to Washington for a series with the Nationals. If you haven't heard the news, we've been waiting all summer wondering if and when we'd be invited to the White House. President Joe Biden will do that for the Braves. A ceremony at the White House Monday morning.
Yep.
For the early afternoon hours.
And we get to go old school down there too, the old train ride.
It's going to be great. Back in the old days, before there were any teams farther west than St. Louis in the Mississippi, that's how they used to travel.
Yeah. We did that every year when we were in Atlanta. Going from Philly to Washington when I played, take the train. I loved it. It's fun.
1 ball, 2 strikes. Hopefully it'll be a happy ride down to Washington, D.C. We'll play 3 against the Nats, have an off day Thursday, and then get ready for that final big showdown with the New York Mets at Truist Park Friday, Saturday, Sunday. The Sunday game will be a national telecast, so check your calendars. Make sure you show up at the right time for that one. And then we'll wrap things up on the road. 3-game series down in Miami, the final 3 regular season games of the year. Aaron Nola is through 5. He leads 8-0. Braves fans, make sure you vote for Tyler Matzik for the 2022 Roberto Clemente Award presented by Capital One. That recognizes players who best represent the game through positive contributions both on and off the field. Tyler's done incredible work supporting mental health awareness. We invite you to vote today at MLB.com/Clemente21. So Matzik in the 5th. That wasn't the game plan for the Braves, and for Jake Odorizzi, a disappointing outing. No way to sugarcoat. 10 hits, 8 runs in 4 innings.
Especially how that first inning ended with Grossman making the great play. You thought, okay, maybe that'll get him going. I mean, he came out and struck out Schwarber and Harper right away, and just kind of unraveled after that. The 2nd and 4th, a lot of pitches for him.
So Matzik versus Bryson Stott in the Philly 5th. Stott has a sac fly and a strikeout. One real big positive for the Braves during this excellent month of September. And look, they have been outstanding in the season's final full month. Braves are 13-6 so far in September. And one reason why, Jeff, the relief corps. Atlanta, with all the innings pitched and the like this summer, when the games matter most, the bullpen is pitching to a 2.04 September ERA.
Yeah, they've been outstanding. Which is a big deal, because if you remember last year when you went through that postseason run, how good the bullpen was. Our starters were good, but when they got that lead late, they did not let it go. And that's huge in the postseason.
And you know how important Tyler Matzik was to that great postseason run for the Braves last year. It's hopeful that he'll be as effective this year. And as we touched on in the early moments of the broadcast, the expanded playoffs and the compressed window in which to get those playoff games played.
Yep.
There are not many days off. And I would imagine as you get to the final days of the season, that's when you start to lift some of those restrictions. Brian doesn't like using guys 3 days in a row. Doesn't really like to go 3 out of 4 days unless he has to.
Yeah.
But in the playoffs, all of that changes. And Stott, a leadoff walk. 4th walk earned by the Phillies offense tonight. Matt Vierling is coming up. You like the playoff format, the way it's set up? You like how that's changed out of necessity with the extra teams?
I do. I like 6, though. I don't like 7. I think 7, you bring too many teams into play. But at this number, I think, like I said, it's made, I think, it more interesting here with 2 weeks left. A lot of action still.
Yeah, and I think it emphasizes, as we've seen, the importance of winning the division, and the Braves still have hopes of doing that. Number 1, it rewards the teams with the 2 best records with a bye. And if you have the best wild card record, that means something too. You host all 3 games.
Yeah,
potentially.
Yes, and I think, look, as much as we love the wild card, the 1 game, this and that, you at least get a best of 3. Yeah. I think, which makes a big deal sometimes. I am going to miss the 1 game, just all on the line. I always thought that was great, but that was from when you're done playing, you're watching. When you're in the game, it's tough.
2 balls and a strike. And I think that was the big criticism of it. You play a 3-game series or a 2-game series most of the year. You've played 162 regular season games and your season comes down to 1.
Yeah.
That's just ask the Pirates how tough a pill that has been for them to swallow in recent years.
3 wild card games. They have not won it yet.
That's the bracket. If the season were to end today, the Braves would play the Padres in the best of 3 at Truist Park. The Mets would await the winners of the Cardinals and the Phillies. And that's it. Goes 3-2 to Matt Vierling. Tyler's walked now 6 men in his last 5 appearances. It's 8-0 Philadelphia in the 5th. 2 on, nobody out. So here is the calendar, and this is what we're talking about, how the playoff schedule has changed. Not many off days, not many days of rest. If you win the first 2 games, let's say you're the wild card, you win the first 2 games, you get Sunday and Monday off, then you go to LA, come back and play the Dodgers at Truist Park for 3 games, and just 1 day off in the NLCS. That's, I think, the real difficult part of it.
Yeah, after game 2, then you got 5 games in a row if you get to that point. So
all of that necessitated by tacking on the first series lost at the beginning of the year to the end of the season. The last 3 games on the original slate for the Braves were to have been against the Mets at Truist Park. So we'll make up that final series with the Marlins and then go right into a potential wild card matchup on that first Friday after the regular season. That is, of course, if, and that's still a big if, the Braves settle for the top wild card.
Yep.
2 on, no hits for the Phillies in the 5th. Back-to-back walks from Tyler Matzik. It's the 5th inning, and Schwarber's in the batter's box for the 4th time tonight.
That's usually not good for what you're trying. If you're trying to hold them and win ball games, that's tough when the leadoff hitter's up here for the 4th time.
Schwarber takes strike 3. I tell you what, as tightly contested as these Braves-Phillies games have been, with all due respect to Kyle Schwarber, Atlanta's done an excellent job of neutralizing it. He's hit his home runs.
Oh yeah,
not many
they've
hits.
done a good job of mixing things up on him. I'll say that. Not letting him get any sort of, falling into a sequence. Fastball up. If you can get that, that's a good pitch for him.
Well, got to get this guy out. Rhys Hoskins is 3 for 3. He needs a triple to hit for the cycle. Breakthrough year for Hoskins. As we check out the metrics on the only homer hit in the game tonight.
And that's our StatCast 3D powered by Google Cloud. That was a moonshot to left field. 382. Gave him his 3rd hit of the night.
I'm with you. If the wind's not blowing straight in from left, that was flirting with the second deck.
Yeah, agreed.
Dust might have gotten into Rhys Hoskins' eyes as he steps out with a 2-0 count. Stott and Veerling walked. Schwarber struck out looking, and Hoskins looking for RBI number 5 in the game. Magic has walked, the bases loaded. Games like this, all you can do is wear it and hope you get out of it with Bryce Harper in the box. And hope your offense can come back with 12 outs left. It's 8-0. Bryce Harper with the bases loaded. Harper, though, not his usual destructive self at the moment. He's 2 for his last 16 and has struck out twice tonight. More action in the Braves bullpen as Harper tried to leverage one out to right and didn't get it. Strike 1. Jackson Stevens, the next man up in the Braves pen. Nice sized crowd here on Friday night in Philly. To center. Harris comes charging in. There's the catch. The throw on the run. It is on target. Play at the plate. Ball dropped. A run is in. Stott scores the 9th run on a Harper sacrifice fly, his 58th RBI.
Yeah, that was tough too because of how far Michael had to come in. You know, you're playing deep on him. Good throw, just off the side, but it was going to be tough to begin with.
Would have been close, but it hit off the shin guard of d'Arnaud. That is the second out of the inning. The Phillies had their 9th run. And here's Real Muto. JT singled and scored to highlight his night. That came last inning. Well, if the Phillies get into postseason play, they're not going to be a walkover club. A team that has Nola, Wheeler, and Ranger Suarez in rotation, that's pretty salty.
Like you said, the huge advantage that's going to come is just getting the home field advantage in a 3-game series. It's not like it's 1 and 2 there, and then you got to go on the road.
If things started today, the Phillies would play the Cardinals. You just saw St. Louis.
Yep. You know, St. Louis, funny team. You know, on paper you look at them and offensively they don't do a lot, but you know, they do have Goldschmidt and Arenado sitting right there, and then Helsley at the end of the game, some starters. You know, one thing you always wonder with them is they pitch to contact, and sometimes in the postseason that's tough to win that way. At least, you know, when you got a guy on third, 1 out, you need a K.
Right.
You know, they don't have too many of those guys that have that ability.
Well, the Phillies have not clinched a playoff spot by any stretch. They've got the Cubs, Washington, and Houston left on their schedule after they finish 2 more with the Braves. Milwaukee is lurking 2.5 games behind them. In the 4th wild card position. On the ground to Dansby, he's got it. And the long throw to first is in time. And that'll retire the side. Matzik with 3 walks. A sac fly brings home another run. It's 9-0 after 5 Philly. I can pick up a few runs right here.
Absolutely.
Against Aaron Nola. A couple of changes for the Phillies. Matt Vierling has moved from right field to center field. Remember, Brandon Marsh has had some knee problems. New right fielder for Philadelphia is Dalton Guthrie. We've seen Guthrie. Excuse me, he's in right field. Beg your pardon on the graphic. So it's Guthrie in right, Vierling in center. But more importantly, we got to find a way to solve this guy, Aaron Nola, who's got a 3-hit shutout working. He'll face Riley, d'Arnaud, and Matt Olson for the 3rd time. Speaking of Austin, he's tonight's Yellowwood brand bringing the lumber feature, a man that loves hitting in Philly.
I was going to say he has struggled recently, but it's no surprise he got 3 hits last night, 1 tonight. Loves playing here. He's reached base safely in 17 of his last 21 here at Citizens Bank.
Riley has walked and has an infield hit. Other than the obvious, you're a former Philly. What makes this place such a good hitter's park?
Well, it's not real big.
Yeah, right. So, that was kind of the obvious part.
Yeah, but no, you said it's a great hitter's background too, with the ivy and trees out there. It's, you know, comfortable place to hit, put it that way.
And for it being so small to left field, it looks like they give the pitcher something. There's a lot of foul ground here by today's modern standards.
There is, but what's nice is you can line one into the gap, and if you get it up enough, you know, it just goes right on out of here.
But tough to do on a night like tonight with the wind howling in. As Riley deep short. Stott gloves, drops, and can't make a play. Riley will reach for a 3rd time. There's a start for the Braves in the 6th.
Yeah, 3 hits last night, 2 more tonight.
That's his 49th multi-hit game for Austin Riley. So there's a start. Travis d'Arnaud is your hitter.
So that was going to be a tough play for Stott to make, even if he comes up with that cleanly.
Well, let's get a run or two. It's no fun getting shut out. Lost 1-0 last night. In fact, the last time the Braves have been shut out in back-to-back 9-inning games, 8 years ago against the Phillies.
Wow.
So enough's enough about that. That research courtesy of our ace stat man back in Atlanta, Drew Jenkins.
Good job, Drew. Thank you.
Nola is corner to corner, top bottom of the zone.
He is, isn't he?
Nothing to eliminate tonight. He's got his A+ stuff. As you mentioned, Jeff, in this ballpark, he's often a different man.
Yeah. It's your home mound. You're comfortable. It's where you pitch all the time. I was a little surprised they bought Nola back out for this inning. Just he's thrown a lot of innings this year.
And it's funny you mentioned that. As good as Aaron has been, they have ridden him so hard because he's so good.
Yeah.
In September, he's faded quite a bit.
He has.
In seasons past.
Cooler night tonight, though, so maybe.
This September, though, a 2.87 ERA. For his career, Aaron Nola 9-15 in September with an ERA of about 4.5.
Yeah.
So a mere mortal. In September and October. As I said, it's the most jarring number you see when you see Aaron Nola is his 1-loss record. How's a guy this good? 9-12. In the air toward left center. Fearling to his right makes the play. Riley back to first. Matt Olson, your hitter, with 1 out. I don't know if there's ever a thing for a hitter as a low leverage situation, but with the Braves down 9-0, we showed you the adjustment to his stance and his hands trying to work on something in live action. Maybe the fact that it's a 9-0 score will help Matt in this situation. Does that make sense?
Make him relax a little bit. It's so tough, though. You start, trying to make things happen instead of letting it come to you.
When you're in a rut like this, Jeff, it's just amazing how often it's 0-2.
And then you get your pitch to hit like that, and you just foul it off.
Still 1 ball, 2 strikes. Good take, evens it up.
He's got him a few times on that changeup tonight. He just went fastball up. See if he tries to throw that changeup here down and away.
Into the camera well beyond the Phillies dugout. Goes the bat. And the count remains 2 balls, 2 strikes. Good to have EY back. He was away from the club for a couple of days. Bobby Magianis had done a nice job coaching first base in EY's absence.
That's a great bat toss.
.30 Eastern time as Olson digs in with a 2-2 pitch. On the ground, and the flip to second for 1. Olson beats the rap at first. They get Austin Riley on a force play. Olson aboard with 2 outs. Contreras is the Braves DH. He's lined out and walked. We're in the 6th inning. As Nola approaching 100 pitches, at long last the Phillies bullpen starts to work. Well, Aaron Nola, it's interesting to remember he's 29 years old. He's pushing toward 1,400 career strikeouts.
Yeah.
He's got 7 of them tonight, 217 for the season. If you keep track of such things, Corbin Burns of the Brewers has the most strikeouts with 223. Carlos Rodon entered play second. Nola third. Spencer Strider, by the way, is fourth with 202 strikeouts. What, 130 something innings? That's crazy. I can't remember the last time the National League had a 300 strikeout guy. If Strider makes 30 starts next year, he's got a shot.
Yes, he does.
The 2-1 pitch. Well, get another runner on, have Rosario pop one. You get a little momentum. You get Nola out of the game, and you've got 10 outs left. Full count. Olson will get a head start at first with a full count pitch and 2 outs. Walking lead. There he goes. And the pitch is strike 3 over the outside corner. If that was the finale for Aaron Nola, it was a beauty. He has struck out 8 through 6 shutout innings. Let's cut to the chase. The Braves have clinched a playoff berth. As you know, we don't know if we'll be the top wild card or the Eastern Division champions again. That's what these final 2 weeks will tell us. But we will have all of your Braves coverage here on Bally Sports South, Bally Sports Southeast, and all of our digital platforms. Braves baseball and the cut to the chase is presented by Texas Pete Sauce, like you mean it. Matzek out for another inning. And misses with ball 1 to Alec Bohm. He's got a 3-hit game. 2 singles, a triple, 2 runs, and a run batted in. So the last time we play the Phillies or any of the other teams in the East for that matter, 19 times a year with the new schedule next season.
Which I like.
Just 12 times.
That's plenty.
You like it?
12 times is enough.
If you're not familiar with the new schedule, it's more of an NBA style schedule, if you will. You'll see every team from the other league either in your ballpark or on the road. And then, for example, if you play the White Sox in Chicago next year, 2 years later they'll come to Atlanta.
What it does more than anything to me is balances the schedule out. I think that's what they're trying to find a way to do. You know, you got more teams playing same kind of schedule to a certain extent.
Makes it fairer.
Yeah.
I like it from that standpoint. And look, there's no way to make any schedule perfect.
Yeah.
But seeing everybody at least once gives you that fairness factor. But it also, I think, from a broader perspective, we're in the entertainment business. Don't you want to see Tim Anderson do his thing in Atlanta? Look at what we saw with Julio Rodriguez out in Seattle, and they got to see Acuna, for example. I mean, that's really what it's all about, is getting the game's great stars in front of as many new eyeballs as you can. And what better way to do that than to actually play them every year? So really looking forward to that. I believe next year the Braves open with National League play. We'll start with the Nationals and then go to St. Louis for the first series. The San Diego Padres are scheduled to be the first opponent for the Braves at Truist Park next year, and they'll be without Fernando Tatis, who has had a litany of problems this year for San Diego. And hopefully when we join you again in Atlanta, we'll be hoisting another championship banner.
Heck yeah.
Three-two pitch. And another walk for Matzek. That's 4 of them in an inning plus. 34 pitches for Tyler Matzek as he recalibrates. Let's step aside for a quick word from Delta.
Delta, proud to be the official airline of the 2021 World Champion Atlanta Braves.
Dalton Guthrie, son of Mark Guthrie, a former big leaguer. And that's in for a strike. We were talking with John Kruk, longtime Phillies broadcaster, big baseball star himself for many seasons. He really likes this kid.
I think, look, this team needed to get a little bit more athletic, a little bit younger, and I think they've been able to do that with some of these guys at the bottom. Stott, you know, and inject some energy in this club too. We saw what Michael Harris was able to do to the Braves when he came up. Same kind of deal here a little bit.
Guthrie went around, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Haven't had a chance to meet young Mr. Guthrie. I wonder if he was named for the most famous Dalton that played for the Phillies.
Yeah, could be.
Darren Dalton, former catcher here. And strike 3, shaves off an outside corner. Matzek has his second punch out, 1 on, 1 out. for Gene Segura. The pitch was a little more like the Tyler we've seen in months past.
Had some zip to it.
Segura's 0 for 2, but he's walked and scored. 9 runs on 10 hits for Philadelphia. The Braves have 4 hits, no runs yet. Mets are getting started in Oakland. Nothing out at the Oakland Coliseum. Generous strike there. 2-1 the count. Segura forgot the count.
No, I don't think he forgot the count, Chip. I don't think he thought the 2-0 was called a strike.
Now he looks back
that's what I think he's arguing. I don't think he thought the 2-0 was a strike.
That's why I said that was a generous call. It wasn't a strike, but that's a got the call. And so Gene back in the box with a 3-1 pitch to come. Broken bat roller toward third. Second base, long throw 1. That's all Atlanta will get. Bohm is forced out, 2 away, and Stott your hitter.
Well, that's a good job of getting a break there and being able to take advantage of it.
Stott doesn't get cheated, does he?
No.
28,013 the paid crowd tonight. And this is the final series at home for Philadelphia this year. That's out of play, foul. So 2 more games left for the Phillies at Citizens Bank Park. As Matzik stares down Stott with an 0-2 count. No homers for Aaron Judge so far tonight. Red Sox and Yankees are tied 4-4. That game's in the 8th inning. Judge trying to get to 61. One ball, 2 strikes. Milwaukee leading Cincinnati. That's a 5-3 score. Top of the 9th inning at the Great American Ballpark. That game impacts what the Phillies do. Again, Philadelphia 2.5 games ahead of Milwaukee for the last wild card spot. The pitch low. 2-2. All you need to know about Tyler Matzik, this is his second inning. Look at how many pitches he's thrown tonight.
Yeah, a lot.
Right at Matt Olson, who moves off the bag, steps on the pillow, and that retires the side. We go to the 7th. To the 7th we go in Game 2 in Philadelphia tonight. Fans Behind the Braves, the official podcast of the Braves, takes fans on a journey to uncover the stories about our beloved team. Braves alumnus Greg McMichael and digital content manager Ricky Mast are joined by Braves legends, players, and even famous fans to share their passion and history of the Braves franchise. Make sure to subscribe via your favorite podcast app so you don't miss an episode, including one of our recent episodes featuring the always smiling Ozzie Albies. Behind the Braves, the official podcast of your Atlanta Braves. You don't want to miss it. Here's Nick Nelson. Nelson will follow Aaron Nola, who went 6 shutout innings and struck out 8. Nola uncharacteristically walked 3 batters. That's about the only blemish.
You can see Nelson's got a big arm, but a high ERA, got a 4.69. Goes hard. As you can see,
I'd say 97, and Eddie almost got a foot burger. I think one thing that
foot burger. There's a guy like that one. I'm going to save that one.
Feel free to use it.
Thank you.
One thing I think the Phillies, in my opinion, have to be concerned about will be the number I keep harping on for them, and that is walks by their bullpen.
Yeah,
I've said it so many times because it hasn't changed for them. And look, they've been working on improving their bullpen. And what they've gotten Robertson and Sir Anthony Dominguez and Alvarado in order in the late innings. They've been a lot better, in fairness.
Well, and I think after seeing Eflin last night, they might do some of that.
It's a good weapon. Good point. This one is into left center field, but Fearling can't get it. Wynn got a hold of that. And Eddie Rosario will have a gift wrap double, leading off the Atlanta 7th. But the point I was going to make, the Phillies bullpen has pitched about 330 fewer innings than their starters. They've issued 30 more walks than their starters. And in postseason play, Jeff, as you know, covering it, that's a recipe for disaster.
That's not good. And here's, for example, Chip of the Wind, what we're talking about. You see how usually that ball's in the gap. You see the route he's taking. All of a sudden, I got to come in and just couldn't get there.
So let's spoil the shutout bid here. Leadoff double for Rosario, his 10th 2-base hit. Vaughn Grissom, your hitter. And another shot to center. That'll be deep enough to advance Rosario, you'd figure. Veerling with the catch and throw. Here it comes, and close. Nice job by Bohm to try to deke Eddie, but he slides in quickly.
Man, Vaughn hit that ball hard.
Yeah. And I say this without any attempt to make a pun. It truly is cold comfort when you square up a ball like that, and the best you can do is move a runner up 90 feet.
To save it.
Grossman, a good night. He's walked, he's singled, and a nice catch up against the wall in right. Now he has a chance to spoil the shutout bid. As we told you, the Braves have not been shut out in back-to-back 9-inning games in 8 years. They were shut out in back-to-back 7-inning games.
On the
Don't get me started. I'm not in the mood.
The no-hitter that never was.
Yes.
First the Diamondbacks.
Yes. Madison Bumgarner, I'm on your side on that one.
Well, I don't want to be not on his side, trust me.
Good point.
It's a big guy.
1 ball, 1 strike from Nelson to Robbie Grossman. This guy's been a terrific addition. He's a pro's pro, man. Look, I didn't see much of Robbie's work as a big league player. He spent most of his time in the other league. But you talk about a guy that quietly goes about his business and gives you a pro effort every time he's in there.
When you talk about some of the big trades that other teams make, we saw it last year with the Braves with, you know, some of the under radar trades end up being the biggest ones. Same thing with this. I mean, Robbie has been with what Ronald's gone through with DHing, Rosario, you know, still getting his legs under him. Robbie's been a huge addition, and he's produced.
Big hits, can play both corner spots, can DH, switch hits, and he drives this one to left. Schwarber near the line and in the corner. He'll make the catch, and the Braves break the shutout bid. A sac fly for Robbie Grossman brings home Eddie Rosario. It's a 9-1 game.
Good at bat by Robbie.
So that breaks a 22-inning scoreless drought for the Braves offense, and a start for the rest of this night and the rest of this series. And Dansby Swanson, your hitter. Dansby 0 for 3, hit into a double play his last time up. He's serving as the Braves leadoff man with Ronald unable to go tonight. Back-to-back misses with a stiff back. Well, that's concerning.
Well, and in this cold weather too, that doesn't help. It's different when it's 90 degrees out. It's a little easier to get loose.
You ever deal with back issues?
I didn't. No, luckily.
That's amazing. As much as you've carried me, 1 ball, 1 strike. That's fouled back by Swanson. Hope you'll stick around for the stretch. As always, that's presented by our friends at Georgia Natural Gas. Trevor and BJ are standing by in our Atlanta studios.
I will say I actually a couple times had some back, not big time, but playing on the turf sometimes in Toronto when we'd leave, you'd feel it a couple days later.
Aaron Nola, the pitcher of record for the Phillies. Jake Odorizzi for the Braves. Tyler Matzik has followed Jake in relief. Nick Nelson doing the same for Philadelphia. He's given up a windblown double and a sacrifice fly for the Braves' first run tonight. And a line shot into left. That's going to get down and roll to the warning track. Schwarber drops it, but Dansby was on his way to second anyway, and he'll stand there with 2 outs. So again, we told you coming into this game, the Braves had 3 extra base hits among their last 23 hits. Well, tonight their last 2 hits have been doubles.
Man, I don't care how hard you throw it. If you're going to throw it in that middle spot like that, Dansby's going to wear you out every time.
Well, keep the line moving.
Yeah.
You're down 8. You got the 2, 3, 4 guys coming up, albeit with 2 outs. Harris was 0 for 3 against Nola. On the ground to second. Oh, tricky hop. Segura stayed with it, and Harris is out by a step. Braves get a couple of doubles. They spoil the shutout bid. It's a 9-1 game. Trevor, we send it back to you and BJ back in Atlanta. Braves have a run back. It's a 9-1 game after the stretch. Nice job, Trevor and BJ, with that. And with the score in Phillies' favor late in the game, Brian Snitker is going to make a couple of changes. First of all, he'll take Tyler Matzik down. Matzik went 2 innings, allowed a run, walked 4, and struck out 2. This is Jackson's 36th game of the season. Snit will also give Dansby Swanson and Michael Harris the rest of this game off.
Yeah, smart to do. Get those guys off their feet. You got 2 big games coming up here on Saturday and Sunday with favorable pitching matchups.
That's Rylan Bannon, former Oriole, who made his big league debut May 12th. He makes his Braves debut tonight. We'll get our first look at Vaughn Grissom at shortstop, Jeff, which was the position he was playing at Double-A when the Braves brought him to the show.
Yeah, moving a couple guys around, and a good chance here, hopefully, to get 2 innings out of Jackson Stevens. See Heredia there in center, taking over for Michael Harris.
And we showed you the graphic at the start of the show. One thing you have to be really proud of, these Braves, Riley, Olson, Swanson have played virtually every inning of every game. With this one, 9-1 Philadelphia, you give a couple of your regular guys a few innings off, a chance to recalibrate and get set for a 4 o'clock start tomorrow.
Well, that was our open right there. You saw it. 3 most players, or 3 players with the most innings. Right there, your Atlanta Braves. Not to say it's a bad thing. It worked last year. Look, they rode those guys the same way last year. So you're hoping that eventually it's good to see Dansby get that big hit. Maybe you can see Olson get a knock here coming up in the 8th inning.
You were that kind of player too. You were a guy that played 155, 160 games a year for the Braves. You wanted to play. That was what made you such a successful player. That's what makes these guys successful players too. However, all rest appreciated this time of year.
Yeah,
right?
And you look at it sometimes, you know, of having a balance and doing that. But
first chance for Grissom at short. He's got a very good arm. And Olson stretches out. I beg your pardon. 1 out.
You always say sometimes with some of those guys, Chip, you know, I'd rather have them at 70% out at shortstop than not. So there's got to be a balance to it. But you know, I think it ways like tonight to get them off their feet for a little bit, I think is important too.
Jackson Stevens gets his first out. Kyle Schwarber, the hitter, he's got the hat trick. 3 strikeouts. He's walked and scored. 4 in the second, 4 in the fourth, 1 in the fifth for Philly, and this one popped up. Who wants it? It'll be Matt Olson. Quickly, 2 outs for the Phillies. And the number 2 hitter, Rhys Hoskins. He's singled, he's doubled, he's homered, he's walked. He's had a perfect night. And for the best coverage in the game, let's check out our T-Mobile coverage cam tonight. Sadly, it was Mr. Hoskins that provided it.
Yeah, he had the big shot here. I'll be honest, I didn't think there was any chance to get a home run out to left field. He proved me wrong, although only went 5 rows and was crushed. But that was kind of the final blow there for Rhys Hoskins, his 3rd knock of the night.
Jake Odorizzi was the Braves starter tonight. It didn't go well for Jake. 8 runs in 4 innings. Aaron 6 innings of shutout ball for Philadelphia. And so we'll hope Kyle Wright can get us back on the beam tomorrow if the Braves can't come back tonight. And it's a 4:05 first pitch tomorrow. We're on Bally Sports South for Kyle Wright, looking for his big league leading 20th win. Last Brave to win 20 games, Russ Ortiz in 2003. Ortiz did one better than that. He won 21. In games like this, you try to make lemonades out of lemons. One thing that's happened tonight and last night, it's really helped the Braves get some rest for the guys at the back end of their bullpen.
Good point.
Iglesias ought to be in good shape. Jansen, Minter. As that strike 3 and a good inning for Jackson Stevens. 3 up and 3 down. That ends Rhys Hoskins' perfect evening. We go to the 8th. To the 8th inning, let's check out our Green Machine game summary.
You can see that second and fourth inning, really the stories of this game. High pitches, able to take its advantage, and Aaron Nola on the other side was pretty darn good tonight for the Phillies.
And remember what I said at the start of the broadcast, the team that can manufacture runs on a windy night is going to have a leg up. Well, the Phillies have been able to do that. Braves are a homer hitting club, not hit a home run since Tuesday, and are bidding to go 3 games in a row without one. That hasn't happened yet all year for Atlanta. Let's see if Riley can change that. Tried to and fouls it back.
Braves changes in the bottom of the 7th are also straight up. Riley Bannon is hitting first. Guillermo Heredia batting second.
Swing and a miss for Austin Riley. Riley hitting third tonight for Atlanta. He was 3 for 3 last night. He's 2 for 2 tonight with a couple of infield hits. So Austin, who's had an uncharacteristically quiet offensive month in September, might be starting to heat up. Like to get him going. More importantly, Bertie, we'd like to get Ronald Acuna Jr. back in the lineup. Any update on whether or not he'll be able to play in Game 3 tomorrow?
Well, through interpreter Franco Garcia, he said, I'm good. I'm just sore. But yeah, we're going to try to get better so we can get back in that lineup as quickly as possible. I hope that happens for tomorrow.
Right back to the mound. That's an easy play. Low throw. And dug out by Hoskins at first. And Paul, it's obvious. You look at the numbers for Ronald Acuna Jr. and what he means to the team. When he doesn't start, the Braves are 5 games under 500. This is a team that started play tonight 93 and 57.
Absolutely right. You see that Ronald impact that we're showing you. We're just showing you his offensive numbers. We're not even talking about defensively when he's in right field with that good cannon that he's got, ability to run down a fly ball and make a catch, but also base runners respect that arm and don't necessarily take bases on him. And then I can also speak as a pitcher, when you have a leadoff guy coming up with that kind of juice right out of the chute, you can be uncomfortable.
Yeah, and I agree with that. And I think, you know, to the team's defense, the first month of the season, they didn't play very good to begin with. And, you know, but as I said, with Ronald in there, it just the offense flows. You have him 1, Dansby 2, and you get, you know, a lengthened lineup. You know, so hopefully we can find a way to get him back in there tomorrow, which would be huge.
Big cut by d'Arnaud and didn't get it. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Maton, Vierling, and Guthrie left to right in the Phillies outfield. Jairo Munoz is taken over at second. Stubbs is behind the plate as Rob Thompson's resting some of his regular players with a 9-1 lead. Important again, quick turnaround, 4 o'clock start tomorrow, and then an even earlier start on Sunday for the wrap-up. Final home game for the Phillies. That one's at 1:05 Eastern time.
Have to make sure I wake you up.
Who says I'm going to sleep?
That's a good point.
Strike 3 at the knees. d'Arnaud is retired. And 2 up, 2 down.
Well, it's the Friday night showdown. Braves vs. Phillies from Citizens Bank Ballpark. Presented by Kaiser Permanente.
You know, I must admit, how many years have you been doing this now?
A few here and there.
I think your Friday night showdown has improved tremendously from your first season behind the mic.
I agree. That and Landmark, I feel like I've kind of
pretty much saved your career, hasn't it?
I've got a good grip on it. And then, of course, the ACC football showdown. So I've kind of got my niche, and I just stay right there.
Stay in your lane, Jeffrey. Fouled back by
my strengths,
Matt
not my
Olson.
weaknesses. Now, you talk about little wins in a game like this. This could be one here. Something positive to happen for this man at the plate.
Matt 0 for 3. Different hand position as he digs in. Remember, Matt had his hands and arms almost parallel to the ground.
Yeah.
Now his hands held higher. A lot looser looking with the hands as he digs in. Yeah, I've said it a million times. I don't know how anybody at this level ever gets a hit. And even more so when you're fighting and trying to find something that will feel good and get you going in a positive direction. Not easy.
No.
Not to mention hitting in the middle of a lineup for a team that's going to the playoffs. But he's got a back of a bubblegum card. We'll see what Olson can do the rest of the way in Philly. That one's laced out of play. 2 balls, 2 strikes. This is good to see. Full count, deep count for Matt.
Say, yeah.
But it's not to be. Olson swings and misses and strikes out for the 3rd time in 4 trips tonight. Home 8th coming up.
Atlanta Braves Baseball is brought to you by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places. The Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day. And by Yellowwood. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it. Brought to you by Toyota. Visit your local Toyota dealers today. Toyota, let's go places. The Georgia Lottery. Today could be the day. And by Yellowwood. If it doesn't have this yellow tag, you don't want it.
Well, a position player is going to work. First time Orlando Arcia has been in a big league game since August 9th. And again, Brian Sitker saving his bullpen for the final 5 games before we get to an off day in Atlanta.
I think that. I don't know. Arcia's got an arm. See what kind of cheese he's going to run up there. Or if he's going to lob over.
You know, you get excited about a lot of stuff in a big league game.
Yep.
This is one that I sense gets your blood pumping. You were one of the great relief pitchers in Phillies history.
It brings back a lot of good memories.
Number 39, Donnie Sands, batting for Harper.
Donnie Sands is going to hit for Harper in the Philly 8th. All right, what's this experience like as a position player coming in and pitching on a big league mound?
There's no pressure, I'll tell you that. That's a good thing. Although I will say, when I came into pitch, Lance Barksdale had issued warnings and told me that there was a warning.
Oh, that's right.
So I was a little more nervous if I let one go.
Now, Arcia is just lobbing the ball in at 55 miles an hour.
I can't do that.
And
that's what you wonder with him. I know this is crazy, but you wonder a little bit, you know, does he need to throw the ball?
Again, the casual fan will say, look, just get up there and throw it down the middle, right?
And it's not easy, especially for a guy that's used to just unleashing the ball from second short.
I mean, I remember when we came to Philadelphia with the Braves, when you were here, you'd finished pitching 3 or 4 days earlier. As this one's popped up into foul ground, Arcia is on his way over, and he can't make the play. Short-armed it. Olsen was there too. But I walked over and I looked at you, and you just shook your head and said how sore you were.
Yeah, I was very sore. I felt it.
Braves aren't going to bother to hold the runner at first in a 9-1 game. This one is lifted towards center, and Heredia will gather that in for the first out. So 1 on, 1 out. Here's a quick word from Zaxby's.
Try Zaxby's Chicken Finger Plate with tongue torch, Zax sauce, or any of our sauces.
Now, conversely, as a position player facing a position player,
just put it in play.
Yeah. Don't strike out.
Don't strike out.
That's put in play. Wynn might play some tricks with this. And nice play by Riley down the line. So there's no shame in making it out.
No shame.
Don't
strike out.
Yeah, that's what I thought, right?
Well, and don't break your bat.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, especially on a Arcia's throwing this slow.
Well, Orlando leadoff walk. He's gotten 2 outs in a row.
He's bared down.
He's just getting loose for Connor Brogdon. So we have a position player pitching and a pitcher. No, that's not Brogdon. That's Dalton Guthrie. Brogdon's in the bullpen. I beg part. Yeah, they had his name on the scoreboard there. Saying, what are we doing here? Yeah, it's Guthrie. And another pop-up. Wynn playing tricks. Olsen got there, tumbles into the railing and can't hang on.
Now this is where, let's see if he tries to sneak one by him here. You're throwing 2 in there easy. See if he tries to get a little extra.
Well, he can't throw a changeup off his changeup.
No.
If he does, I don't think it gets to the plate. Efa's pitch skied into center, and inning is over. Way to go.
That's how it's done.
Orlando Arcia gets 3 outs in the 8th.
Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by Landmark Dodge Chrysler Jeep Ram, Yamaha Boats and Wave Runners, and by the NASCAR playoffs at Talladega Superspeedway October 1st and 2nd. Get your tickets now at TalladegaSuperspeedway.com. Atlanta Braves baseball is brought to you by the GMC Sierra heavy duty truck. Xfinity. Supercharge your home with supersonic Wi-Fi. Unbeatable internet. Only from Xfinity. And by Georgia Natural Gas. Live the greener life.
9-1 is your score in Philadelphia. Game 3 comes your way tomorrow afternoon. Kyle Wright will try to make some Braves history. He will go for his 20th victory of the season. That is part of your player comparison, Jeff, brought to you by our friends at Landmark.
Yeah, you see Falter going for the Phillies. Got a pretty good ERA. Braves tend to do really well against lefties, and of course Kyle Wright would be outstanding. First guy since 2003 get 20 wins for the Braves.
And hopefully we'll see Ronald back in the lineup tomorrow afternoon. Our coverage starts with Braves Live at 3:30 Eastern time. So here is Connor Brogdon. Brogdon will go to work in the Atlanta ninth. It'll be William Contreras, Eddie Rosario, and Vaughn Grissom coming up. The Mets have taken a 3-0 lead over Oakland. That game's in the 3rd inning out west. So if that score holds and this one scores or score holds, will be 2.5 back entering play tomorrow. And Trevor and BJ will wrap things up for you on Braves Live. The post-game show will follow us from Philly. On a cold, chilly night, 63 breezy degrees. Back our way and just out of reach.
Man.
Had a fan right below us.
It jumped over.
Make a heck of a play.
I'm sure he's all right.
0-2 pitch. And a swing and a miss. There's out number 1 in the Atlanta ninth.
Man, before we get back to the action, let's take a quick message from Landmark.
To celebrate our 40th anniversary, Landmark announces 40 days to save. Nobody beats the Giant. Nobody. Always the best deal. Always.
Well, Jeff, one of your Ford keys was try to make consistent contact tonight. That's been a problem.
Yeah.
12 strikeouts for the Braves bats. As Eddie Rosario is the only Brave to score. Atlanta avoids being shut out. They have a run on 6 hits. Oh, 2. And he stays alive. Milwaukee finished off Cincinnati 5-3, so barring a big comeback by the Braves tonight, they'll be 2.5 behind for the final wild card spot. And the Braves have 1 out left as Rosario rolls out. And Vaughn Grissom, the final hope for Atlanta here in game 2. Vaughn is 0 for 3. Braves are down to their final strike. That is your ball game. Phillies beat the Braves in game 2. 9-1 is your final score. Couple of big innings undid Jake Odorizzi, Jeff, and on this cold night, the Braves' bats were cooled by Aaron Nola.
Yeah, that second inning just got you off to a bad start. Already down 4-0 facing Aaron Nola, who was really good tonight. You said it, Chip. In a game like this, you got to flush it, especially with 11 left now. You got to find a way to put it behind you, and you got to come out the next 2 days and win 2 ball games here in Philadelphia.
Best you can do is split.
Yep.
And who better than Kyle Wright, the big league's wins leader? He'll take the ball with his 19th against Bailey Falter. And again, our coverage starts at 3:30 Eastern here on Bally Sports. 9-1. Philadelphia is the winner in Game 2. For Paul Bird, Jeff Francoeur, and our entire crew in the city of brotherly love, I'm Chip Carey. Enjoy your Friday night. We will see you tomorrow for Game 3 of the series here on Bally Sports.
When it comes to your yard,